All right, say hi, Miss Dandridge.
Hi.
Okay, great. So super excited to connect today. And last week we talked a little bit about whole class reset. And when I walked in today, you had just come from lunch, and I saw you did a whole class reset regarding scholars' voices
Yes.
when they came inside.
Right.
So tell me, what steps did you take to lead an effective whole class reset with them?
Okay, first I told them what I saw, and then I modeled for them what I wanted them to see,
Good.
and then I had them to show me, and then I narrated, and then we moved on.
Good. And I love at the very end you even had like a build back statement to be like, I know you can do this. Let's get it next time. Which is good. So nice job. Congratulations implementing our last action step. That's great. So today we're actually going to start talking a little bit about teacher radar.
Okay.
So tell me, what is teacher radar?
Oh, well, I think of radar, I think of scan.
Yep.
So pretty much teacher scanning, and we know our 7 poses we can do for scanning.
Yep.
So you want to be seen looking.
Good.
So that's pretty much it. It's radar scanning.
And what's the point of radar? Like if we have radar, if a teacher has radar, what do they have?
First, you have the kids know that you are holding them accountable. You are seeing things, everything that's going on.
Yep.
Then you also can spot when a child, a student, a scholar is not compliant, so you can kind of redirect.
Right.
Then also just kind of scanning, you can gauge the room and guess in regards if the students are following along.
Good. I always think about like teacher radar as the ability to know what's going on. Exactly. So today you noticed when I was observing, I stood up with you and stood right beside you and was prompting you to scan with me. Why do you think I was doing that?
Because there's a little area right at that door where there's like, I think it's seats 25, 26, and 27.
Yep.
That is very hard to see right there at that door.
Good.
So I pushed the chairs back.
Yep.
But there still is like even that perch angle is hard to see 25, 26, and 27.
Good. Yeah. So I had seen that scholars, there were a few scholars that you weren't missing, and I wanted to make sure that you saw all scholars, right? Because if we don't see all scholars, what would happen?
Right.
What's the impact?
Well, that scholar would know immediately. I've never seen.
Yep.
So I can get away with what I need to get away with, or I won't be like I'm not cared for. So it's not even they trying to get away with something. Some of them may not feel cared or held accountable.
Yeah. Right. And they're gonna think all from what you said.
Right.
So today what I'm going to do is I'm going to model how I would utilize how I would build my teacher radar to scale. Okay, so I'm actually going to do a quick model, and as I watch, I want you to think, what am I doing to ensure I see every single scholar? Okay, cool. I'm going to put this here just so the camera can see me. Your thinking task is, what am I doing so that I can see every single scholar? We're going to imagine this is your classroom. This is your whiteboard. I'm standing over here. Okay, great. So, actually, I'm going to stand over here. Scholars, pencils down, eyes on me. Good. Pencils are down in the front row. Third row, all eyes are on me, those laser eyes. Back row's all ready. Eyes up here. Yes, great. Today I want to talk a little bit about our answer to number 1. What was I saying and doing? Or sorry, excuse me, what was I doing to ensure I saw all scholars?
You tiptoed. Those scholars in the back.
Yep.
Your hand movement made it so they know, oh, he's pointing at me or he's seeing me.
Yep.
That lets you know, hey, that's you. I see you. I see you.
Good.
So the hand movement really lets you know you got the people in the back.
Yep. So you saw that I was using my finger, which helped me scan and helped the scholars know. I was using the be seen looking move, so I was using tiptoe. Where did I stand?
You stood right there, like I don't know, in the room. That's the whiteboard.
Yeah.
Not in the corner. Away from the corner, like right there.
So I stood in the corner, so that's why that's too bad. But you mentioned it earlier. What do we call those corners?
You can perch.
Good. And why do we stand there?
Because you kind of you will get a bird's eye view of the whole class.
Yep. Yeah. And then when I was pointing, what did you notice about how I was scanning the room?
It sounds like you were like, like a range. Like I got all of you.
Good. And you could actually see like I was scanning every single one.
Yeah, right. You got them all. Right.
And then there was a scholar you might have noticed who was off task by their pencil. What did I do? Good. And who was I looking at? Good. And I waited until what? Great. So as you think about your current practice, what do you feel like is the gap between what you're currently doing and what I just modeled?
Well, I do tiptoe.
Yep.
I do tiptoe with an invisible column,
Good.
but the hand one,
Yeah.
I don't use as often as I use tiptoe in the invisible column. Pointing, the hand one, kind of like that,
Yeah.
will add on the emphasis. I be seen looking.
Yep.
My class is so large.
Yep.
So even if I'm doing this, by pointing, I'm also making myself aware that I looked all the way around
Good.
instead of just kind of cornering in middle.
Yep.
So yeah.
So the pointing we know we want to add. Talk to a little bit more about, you noticed that I was scanning every single row. Talk to me about your current practice and what might be missing.
I'm scanning the first two.
Yep.
3, I overview,
Yep.
not kind of like, scanning overview can be a little different.
Yeah.
I'm kind of skimming.
Yeah.
The fourth is that end, the fourth row is number 32, 31. Doesn't seem, I don't see as much. It's right there in between 28, 29, and 30. I see. It's those two ends on the fourth row that I'm missing.
Good. And the last one is, where do we always want to stand, especially if we're bringing scholars back and we need to scan everyone? Where do we always
bring them back into the room or bring them
no,
back
bring
to
them
the
back
room?
from my whole group.
Oh, you want to perch right there in that side so you can see the room.
Yep, and I noticed there were a few times where you did do it, and a few times you stood in the middle, and that just makes it more difficult for you to go to sleep, right?
I was perched back over there.
Good. So as you think about it, what do you feel are your action steps today based upon our discussion? Let's start kind of at the beginning and then go down. Like, what's the first thing, second thing, third thing you'll be doing?
First, I will be doing.
Good. Let's start like right at the beginning. Where are you going to stand?
Oh, okay. I will start in the corner.
Okay. Keep going.
Then I stand in the corner. I bring the whole group back. I will then do a scan where I'm scanning the whole room. Add the tiptoe or the invisible column with the hand and finger.
Yep. So you're literally scanning every single row. And then you're using your BC looking moves.
Yep.
Let's talk about what's happening with the scholars. Nonverbal. And what about eye contact?
Oh, contact of nonverbal. Keep contact. Wait for compliance. Move on.
Great, awesome. We're actually going to write these down. So you nailed them. So our action step today is strengthen teacher radar by scanning the entire room. Jacob, you're on camera, by the way. Not on camera, but the audio can hear you. So you can say hi to Jeremy. And
I'm on camera. Whoa, hey guys.
I write the numbers.
Yeah, well, that's exactly where we're going to go next. So we broke that down into 4 parts, right? The first was we're going to stand at the perch. Yep.
Teacher, do the whole group reset.
Yeah, so let's break it down. Let's focus specifically on radar because we're going to focus on that. So 1 is stand at perch. The second is we're going to narrate and point at every row. You just named that the third and fourth row challenge. We got to point at every row. The third is when we're doing that, what are we going to be doing with those moves? Yep. And then the dance moves, what do we talk about? Yep. So we're going to use our BC and looking dance moves. If you want to use BSL, you can. Use the BC and looking dance moves. Then the fourth is we're going to make eye contact and address off-task behavior. Why don't you go ahead and read those back to me?
Okay, so first, all the first.
Yep.
See the entire row, all the rows. Do my BC looking, then make sure I have eye contact and do off-task, correct off-task behavior.
Now we're going to go ahead and then eye contact. Yep, you got it. Good. So now we're going to do some practice. So I want to think about tomorrow's first lesson or the first group that you see. What is a time in the lesson where you anticipate that you're going to have to really scan to make sure you have all scholars? Let's think of one right now. Yeah, so let's think of the very first one that you're going to think of.
When I ask them to just when they take out their materials from the first beginning, It's always BC.
So they need to have what? Tell me
The
what
red folders.
They're going to have the red folders out on their desk and their hands folded? Okay, great. So let's do some practice with that scenario. So let's go ahead and take 2 minutes, and we'll see if we need it. I want you, in those 2 minutes, to script out what exactly you will say at that moment and at least 3 narrations that you might use. Okay, so right now we're going to focus just on the what to do, like what you're going to say to scholars, hands folded on red desk, eyes or whatever, and then at least 3 narrations you would use, okay? Just focus on that one. 2 minutes, I'll do the same. I'm going to give it just a minute because I don't think. Got it? Okay, cool. So let's go ahead and compare notes. So I'm going to look at yours and you look at mine, and let's think, is there anything you'd want to add based upon what the other person added? Mine's right here.
Oh, I didn't put my, I put 2 narrations. So I have
So I noticed right away just 2 things. What did you notice?
Well, I said on the desk and you said red folder, so I have to make sure I say exactly what I want.
Good. What do you want on the middle of the red folder? Is that
Yeah,
what
that
you
would
want?
be great.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
that would be fine. I'll say that because sometimes they move their red folders to the side to not write on it.
Why don't you, so you get to decide what you're doing. So you tell me, do you want red folders to the side, hands in the middle, or do you want hands on top of the red folder?
Okay, let's just put the hands on top of the red folder.
Okay, hands on top, so let's add on top of the red folders.
Okay.
And then let's look at your narration. So I see the track me, that's good. Then you said first row track me, all scholars track me. Look what I had. I had blank has hands folded tight, blank has red folder on desk, nice laser eyes back row. What's the difference between the narrations?
Well, I started out with the first row. I said track me, but I didn't address the hand folded. So
And as you think about this, the first row track me is a direction, right? How do we turn that into a narration?
Oh, first row is tracking me.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and add that. Because remember, narrating means we have to narrate what's actually happening, not a command. So first row is tracking me.
Okay. All scholars. So I went from, I was saying a narration. So I was ready. First row, okay, it's tracking me. All scholars are tracking me.
Is that what's actually happening? Probably not, right?
Oh.
Because remember, we actually see, now you might not see the first row, but we can imagine that we'll see a row that's ready. We might see some scholars that are ready, but remember, we have to only say, yeah, because if all scholars aren't doing it, they're going to think you're lying. So let's look at some of the ones that I have, we can add it. So I just put blank has hands folded tight, blank has red folder on desk, nice laser eyes back row. Let's add some individual ones.
Okay, now I have a question then.
Yep.
This is our narration, but I remember doing one training, doing the least invasive. It was like you say, all scholars tracking me, and then that's one none
Yep.
least invasive. That's what that all scholars tracking me was my least invasive.
Yeah, which is fine, but we want to make sure we narrate before. So before we use it, we're going to get to the least invasive eventually, but I want to say, just as a rule of thumb, we're going to at least narrate 2 kids when we're doing it.
Yeah, a least invasive.
Yeah, so let's do another narration.
Okay, first row is tracking me. Great job. Third row is tracking me. If that's happening, yeah. Okay. Okay, row tracking me. Sorry, my handwriting is off. Is tracking me, and then.
Let's pause right there because you're about to get to where I'm going to get to. Right. So now let's just mark to the side. What are some BC looking dance moves that we're going to use?
Okay, I want to do the tiptoe. That's the works best.
Love it. Let's pick another one.
Okay, It's called the politician.
Yep, the politician. Great. So we've got our dance moves. We've got our be seen looking. So, and then let's imagine when we're looking at this, down here, what are 2 misbehaviors you might, or off-task behavior you might anticipate as you scan?
Honestly, it's really assume the best because they sometimes are not just hearing; they're kind of like in a daze, and they're just kind of just having their hands flat, just kind of looking through stuff.
Hands flat, right? So hands aren't folded, so hands are flat. And let's write down another thing that we might anticipate scholars doing wrong when you ask for their hands.
And they're not tracking me; they're kind of looking to the left, or the right.
So then not tracking. So let's write down not tracking. Now what I want you to do is exactly what you already talked about, which is for each of these, I want you to take a minute and I want you to write down what are 2 least invasives that you can use if scholars don't have that fixed. So let's think about hands flat. What are 2 things we might do if we're noticing that hands are not flat? And then for not tracking, 2 things that we might do. And I'll do this. So let's take a minute just to script.
Okay.
All right, let's go ahead and hands flat. What's 2 things you would do?
All scholars' hands.
Good. Let's think of another least invasive we could do just for hands flat.
No.
Great. So let's write down nonverbal. So remember that we can just give a nonverbal hands flat. And then if they're not tracking?
They're not tracking. I need 2 scholars tracking me.
Yep. And then what's another nonverbal? Good. So we can do the nonverbals. Right. Let's write that down too. A nonverbal. Okay. So now we're ready to practice. So we're going to do this in 2 rounds. For round 1, we're going to work on just delivering the script, and I'll be a scholar that when you scan and do some least invasives, I fix it. Okay. Round 2, we'll work on a scholar who doesn't necessarily fix it. Okay. So why don't you stand on up? We'll imagine this is the perch. Go ahead and look at your script if you want to reference it. I want you to take just about 15 seconds to get ready.
Okay. I think I'm good.
I'm going to turn it so we can see. Okay. So remember, I'm going to imagine that I'm sitting somewhere in the desk material where you've got all the rows. Think about your class as you're standing. Okay? So whenever you're ready, you can hit me down. I'm pausing for you. Okay.
Scholars, pause. Track me. All hands are folded on your desk on your red folder.
All right, good. Let's pause and start that again. So I would just say scholars, track me, hands folded on red folder.
Okay. Scholars, pause. Track me. Hands folded on red folder. Oh, okay. Okay.
All the way through.
Okay. All right. All right. Scholars, pause. Track me. Great. Track me. Hands folded on red folder. Yes, he's tracking me. First row, tracking me. Yes, I need all scholars tracking me. All scholars hands folded. Great. Great.
All right, good. And great. So I love that you got through the script, which is good. I want you to try one more time. And you probably, did you notice that my hands were folded?
No.
Okay.
I was
So
trying to think
remember,
of the fact that I had those other kids.
yeah, remember, I'm part of the group again, so
Yeah.
this time I'm going to do something that's not, I'm going to do one of the same as you predicted. I want you to be able to see it and make sure that you're following up directly with me.
Okay.
So you can use the nonverbals. So remember, when you're doing the least invasives and the nonverbals, you're looking at me or I follow what I'm doing.
Scholars, pause. Track me. Hands folded on red. Hands folded on your red folder. Great. Yes. I need all scholars hands folded on red folder.
What would you say if I've got my hands folded in the air like this? What would you say? And you might even just say all the way down, right?
Oh, all the way. I'm trying to do a number.
That's all right. That's all right.
That's why I was doing this.
So say all the way down.
All the way down.
Okay, let's do it one more time. And
I got caught in my head.
yeah,
When you acting it
that's all
out,
right. Remember,
I get caught in my head.
remember the point of scanning is
Yeah.
for you to identify a scholar who's not on task and to address it. Right? So don't forget that as you're looking, the most important thing is that you're seeing scholars who aren't on task and that you're addressing.
Right.
So don't get lost in the language. At the end of the day, you're trying to make sure that you're seeing it and that you're addressing it.
Right.
All right, let's do it one more time.
Okay. Scholars, pause, track me, hands folded on red folder. Go.
All right, good. Let's pause right there. One thing I'm noticing is you're moving, stay plankton, so it exaggerates your using the movements. So remember, scholars, hands folded on red folder, eyes on me. Back row has hands folded.
Okay.
Good job, second row. Eyes are glued on me. Wow, LaShawn, laser eyes. All hands folded.
Nice. Okay.
Go again.
Scholars, pause, track me, hands folded on red folder. She has her hands folded.
Good.
Yes, he has his hand on the red folder. Yes, I see the back row. Yes, all scholars, hands folded. All scholars track me. Great.
All right, good. And see, nice. So much better. You tended your feet, and I really saw you looking among the rows, and that's when you noticed. I want you to do it one more time, though. And this time, what I want you to do is I want you to imagine this is the entire room. So think back to front, if that's the most helpful to you, but don't forget the scholars that are right in front of you. I'm going to imagine I did like the second row. Don't forget the scholars right in front of you as well. Cool. And then once you have it, move on. So we scan until we have 100%. And once we have it, we can move on. So as soon as I fix it, I'm not going to be the scholar that's all passed. Keep moving. Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
Cool. All right.
Scholars, track me. Hands folded on your red folder. Yes, she has it. He has it. All scholars, hands folded on your red folder. All scholars tracking me. Yes, she's tracking me. All right, so today we're going to work on.
Nice, that was really great. So you scan every single person, you address me with the scholar as all passed. I love the whole group correction, all scholars hands folded, which I thought was great. This time we're going to practice the scholar doesn't fix. So you're scanning, you're doing some fixes, the scholar still doesn't fix it. What do you do?
Okay, so this is the part where I'm in between my checks. So I did a positive narration. I did 2 non-invasive.
Yep, least invasive.
I'm sorry, least invasive. I did 2 least invasive. And then the scholar's still not doing. I can do a check then.
Yep.
Okay, I just want to make sure that assume the best and the scholar's doing and giving that check.
Yep.
I want to make sure I'm fair.
Yep.
Yeah.
The way to think about it is I'm going to use assume the best when I see a group of scholars and I'm doing, because I'm assuming, looks like some of us forgot.
Okay. What scholar does? I can do a check for that. Okay.
So we're going to do it
Okay.
again. I'm going to be a scholar who doesn't fix it. They're going to have to issue a check.
Sure.
Narrow it, do least invasive before.
Okay. Scholars, track me. Place your hand, fold your hand on the red folder. She's placed her hand. She's tracking me. I need all scholars tracking me and hands on red folder.
Clarify that, which hand is folded.
Okay. Hands folded on the red folder. Justin check hands. Oh, so
Hands
here's
up the
what
problem.
we want to check.
All right, do it again. Plant your feet, don't move them. I know it's hard.
Yeah, it is.
And then remember, correct what's wrong. Tell me what's right. Yeah. Okay.
Your hand, okay.
My hands were good, but
Okay, yeah, that's what it. Scholars, pause, track me. Place hands on red folder. She placed her hand on the red folder.
hands folded on the red folder. Because there has to be
Hands
hands
folded.
like this.
Hands
So
folded.
do it again, hands folded on it.
Scholars, track me. Place fold your hand on your red folder. She has her hand folded. He's tracking me. All of the fourth row is tracking me. I need all scholars tracking me. Justin, track me.
And see. Nice. Really great job. All right, come on over and take a seat. So my question for you today, April, what do you think made our practice effective?
Well, I got into the scene,
Yep.
the real of being in class. I understood the whole check system. I knew about it, but I was assuming the best, like you said, assuming the best with the group, not with just one individual.
Yeah.
So I'm able to give out checks.
I also,
Go ahead.
I also appreciate that you allowed us, and both of us, we practiced until it was all the way right?
Mhm.
We kept going until we got all the way right,
Mhm.
so that when we get in front of kids, it's all the way right.
Right.
Great.
Right, good.
So I'm going to be in class tomorrow to be able to see it in action.
Okay.
A few quick things that if I see, I'll just quickly give some feedback on. So if I want you to use your BC and looking moves, I'll be in the back of the class kind of showing you. If I want to see you point out that hand, I'll literally point so that you know to point. And then if I see a scholar that's off task and you've already used least invasives, I'll literally hover above the scholar and just give the check mark above their head to let you know that scholar should need a check. Sound good?
Sounds good.
Cool. Thank you, April.